Why are Honda Shadows so slow? Well, because Honda put an intentional limiter on your bike so that they could earn a reputation for something very particular that no other manufacturer was even thinking about. But you can remove the limiter, and when you do, you have a whole new bike. So in this video, I'm going to cover what the limiter is, the factors that impact it, why it's there, and what you can do about it. Bear in mind, I have been riding, building, and definitely not racing motorcycles for over 20 years. I've developed hundreds of kick-ass aftermarket parts, especially in performance. So if at any point you're like, wait, who the hell is this guy? Before you point the finger, you should know that I'm the man. Then you're the man as well. So you can point that finger up your ass. I don't waste my time with BS soggy tacos and warm beer. You know what's not BS actually? Is clicking the beautiful little thumbs up like button. It's like giving $1 to the tweaker at 7-Eleven. It tells me you support my panhandling for likes, and it actually lets me know that you want to see more of these super sick videos. No, there's no Discord to discuss the finer points of oil changes and pictures of cats. But if you want to support me and my team, click the like. Let's roll. So first, what is this limiter? Is it a device that can be removed? Kinda, but there's a little more to it, you know? The limitation was that Honda gives you plenty of displacement on a bike, but then really removes its potential through intentional limitations to achieve one goal, and that is reliability. You see, back in the 80s, Honda wanted to be the solution to Harley complaints, so they set out to make the most reliable cruiser motorcycle, not the fastest. They already had fast bikes. And Honda knew what you already know, and that is that increased speed equals increased heat and stress on components, which equals increased risk of failure, which means decrease in reliability. You get it. So, Honda decided to reduce your ability to create those explosions faster and hotter inside your engine, which increases engine life, reduces component wear, and increases that reliability factor, helping them achieve, you guessed it, that golden reputation Honda is now famous for, reliability. So if Honda's goal was not power or speed, but reliability, what did they need this bike to do that competitors weren't accomplishing? They needed it to 1, start every time, 2, reduce vibration, 3, run forever, and 4, be durable to owner abuse. And they did achieve these things. But let's briefly talk about how and why, then we can actually address how to bring the power back while maintaining that famous reliability. First, these things really do start reliably every damn time. Now the starter is strong, the Honda wiring is very simple yet well engineered, and they really don't require much in the way of pre-ride rituals. So even on cold mornings. And let me know if you've owned a bike you have to finger for 15 minutes and spell the alphabet with your tongue on the starter to get it to turn over. And also, please mention the make and model so we can all stay away from that one. Anyway, with Honda, forget the pint of chicken blood, the black salt circles, selenite crystals, and the Papa Legba candle. That's a waste of time. I mean, okay, I'll be honest, yes. In some cases, a carbureted model can be a little cold-natured in really cold weather. That's why they have a choke. I mean, I know some of you guys are gonna bitch about that. Now let's address reducing vibration. Simply put, less vibration just means less wear and tear on the engine. They're designed to have a nice smooth idle, often with a dual pin crank, which reduces vibration. It feels way smoother when rolling on the throttle, and they feel like there's a lot less stress in the engine at certain RPM ranges. Now this does, however, not give off that lopey potato sound. That's a very hot rod punchy feeling, you know, that classic Harley feel. Now, do these bikes really run forever? Obviously, no, nothing is forever except samsara. But the Honda Shadow is the cockroach of motorcycles, because what survives everything, including nuclear fallout? Cockroaches. No, really, I swear. These bikes are designed with longevity in mind, not raw explosive power. But I will show you how I wake up my Honda Shadows. Now, I've seen Honda Shadows that have hundreds of thousands of bajillions of miles on them, gorillions of miles, still running amazingly well. And this is because Honda took the time to be very meticulous in their engineering to create a collection of systems that would stand the test of time. But in the pursuit of the most reliability, I think they overdid it on some accounts, and this is what makes them slower. Oh, hold on. Okay, you're still there, thank God. I thought someone was at the door. Now we're gonna talk about durability.
Heavy is good, heavy is reliable. If it doesn't work, you can always hit him with it.
Honda didn't want the same consumer reports or reputation that some of its rivals have, so it designed these bikes to survive some of the worst neglect you can throw at them. If you build a performance machine, they typically need a bit of babying and conscious care to ensure that they don't explode at the crucial moments, like you do after you decide that eating mariscos from a roach coach before your hot date was a good idea. Now on a top performance machine, one thing goes awry and the expensive machine can be a brick. Now Honda, well, you can abuse the crap out of them and they keep coming back for more, just like your mom. Now, all this adds up to a very tame sounding and looking bike. New riders aren't scared by its cacophonous, teeth-rattling exhaust note, and the engine doesn't feel like a washing machine off balance. So the motor on the Honda Shadow is 100% going through life in chill mode, bro. So what the heck did they do to achieve this legendary status of reliability? Well, first, they use very conservative cam timing. The cam profiles on Honda Shadows are very, very mild, also known as safe. And yes, that can translate to boring. But why would Honda do this? Well, it generates decent low-end torque, it translates to very smooth power delivery, and it doesn't put undue stress on the engine. It's more like polite acceleration with good manners than it is a seat-of-the-pants thrill. So what's a camshaft? It's science time, kids! A camshaft is like the big boss inside the engine that tells the little doors, called valves, when to open and when to close, and how wide to open. And those doors are what let air and gas in and let the old air out. So it affects how strong and snappy the bike feels, and Honda sets this up in a really safe and gentle way, meaning the valves don't stay open very long and they don't open very wide, and the indoor and the outdoor aren't open at the same time very much. So the engine can't breathe as well, especially when you're trying to go fast. That's like the most basic way I can describe what a camshaft does. So the result is a Honda motor that's super predictable, smooth, and forgiving, and also kind of feels like it's running on the Prius Econo mode 24/7. I have a Prius, so whatever. Now, they really built these for commuting and cruising reliability, and to never need anything except some oil and a hug. Cams, it's not something I recommend changing on a Honda Shadow. There are other simpler ways to get way better results, which I'm about to get into after I cram another 7 minutes of science into this video. I'm just kidding, we're almost there. Now, really quick, a break here, guys. I think it's really important to understand why your bike does what it does. I don't think you want to sound like a friggin' caveman when you talk about why your bike is rad and like that bike is sad. It's like, oh, my bike fast. But why is your bike fast? Because bike go fast. The second thing they did to achieve God status of reliability on these bikes is that they choked the ever-loving out of the bike from the factory. Now here's what that means. They created 3 choke points that ultimately slow the bike down. Hang on! And I will show you how to address each one. Number 1, the factory exhaust. It's very restrictive. Sounds like it's from Europe. Honda's exhausts are designed to be quiet, no complaints from neighbors, no warm and fuzzy feeling in your jockstrap area. Also, if you like hearing about all the cool shit I talk about like jock straps and cats and hedgehog farts, then you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, fool. Moving on. So, this exhaust has very small internal passages, heavy baffles, and a design that prioritizes back pressure and noise control. That makes it slow, because an engine is an actual air pump. Now, if you can't exhale, you can't inhale. Especially at low PM, the bike feels totally fine, but at higher RPM, the exhaust restriction creates an absolute traffic jam and the motor kind of runs out of breath. So, I'll show you options for opening that up in a moment. Number dose is the intake and air box. It's built to keep things mega chill. They have a factory setup that's meant to be very quiet, have stable fueling, be weatherproof, and pretty much idiot-proof. But they tend to be smallish on the inlet snorkel size. They're really designed to only smooth airflow instead of maximize it. And at partial throttle, that's okay. But at wide open throttle, it kind of becomes like you're trying to breathe through a straw with a gorilla sitting on your chest.
But wait! There's more!
I'm gonna tell you a super easy way to overcome this garbage setup, so stick with me here, and I'll share some options that allow for maximum airflow in just a moment. Now, number 3, the carb jetting. It's very conservative. A lot of Honda Shadows are jetted for fuel economy, no warranty claims, works anywhere, always kind of vibe. That means the bike's a little leaner than ideal in certain ranges and tuned to avoid any dramatic behavior. Now, what does that mean for you as a rider? That translates to feeling like throttle response is soft as a warm croissant when you're trying to pass someone on the freeway. You're already at 70 miles an hour, it just feels like the bike goes, no thank you. You'll feel flat spots or hesitation, and sometimes the engine will get a little hotter because lean tuning means you are gonna burn hotter. So this is why we recommend anytime you change intake or exhaust, you must tune. Now, if you add pipes or change intake and don't rejet, it's even worse because the engine is trying to breathe more, but the fuel doesn't match. Now, it's time to learn how to get these bikes to their full power potential. It's called the Max Performance Kit. Shadows being choked from the factory is exactly why they respond so well to this kit. Now, I put links in the description so you can check out different kits based on whatever model you have. And if you don't see your model in the description, I am dropping new kits frequently, so check out tjbrutalcustoms.com and search Max Performance or select your bike model to see what's available. So, these kits solve a few things. First, they take that stock choked exhaust and replace it with an open exhaust. This allows for maximum airflow. And you've got options for several designs and in several materials and finishes like stainless, chrome, and Cerakote. It solves that choked intake problem by increasing airflow, allowing for improved air-fuel mixture, thus increasing the performance of the engine to really let the dogs out. And finally, it solves that weak tune the bike comes with so you get the ideal air-fuel mixture. The absolute best part about these kits is that we take all the guesswork out of pairing the right intake, right tuning, right exhaust with a very simple kit that you know is a full system designed to work in harmony to help you get the max performance out of your Honda Shadow. Now, I've also made videos that walk you through the whole process, which is super stupid simple, so you know you're doing it right even if you're not a mechanic. I'll drop links to those videos in the description. Now, I know the stock Honda Shadow is slow as but it doesn't have to be. So if you're feeling like your Honda Shadow could be way more fun than the power-neutered stock version, which it definitely can, this kit might be for you. And if you're still on the fence about this kit, check out the video links in the description where I show you how easy it is to use this kit. Peace.